Morning. So Jesus summons his 12 apostles. Apostle means one who is sent forth. It even says that here. He says that he appointed the 12 whom he also names apostles, that they might be with him, and he might send them forth to preach and to have authority to drive out demons. And today we have the successors of the apostles, known as the bishops. The bishops can trace their lineage back to the 12 apostles. The Pope can trace his lineage back to St. Peter. Today, we also celebrate the feast day of St. Francis de Sales. St. Francis de Sales came from a wildly aristocratic family in Savoy, and just super wealthy family. He was destined to be of great political power, and he was sent to Paris to study both the law and theology, and because his family was so wealthy, he was sent with a priest as his personal chaplain and his tutor. And as he was studying, he started to feel a call to the priesthood. So he comes back home to Savoy, and he tells his dad that he's going to become a priest. And his dad thinks, no, you're destined for something way greater. You're destined to be a great politician. We've got all sorts of things lined up for you. No, Dad, I'm going to be a priest. So he's ordained a priest, but yet his dad still uses his great political power to appoint him to the rector of the cathedral at the age of 26. And so he begins this kind of illustrious ecclesiastical career that culminates with him being named as the Bishop of Geneva. The problem is it's the late 1500s, and in Geneva, they're caught up in this silly little fad called Calvinism. And the Calvinists are greatly persecuting the Catholics. The Reformation is in full force. And so St. Francis de Sales is called upon as the Bishop of Geneva to very humbly proclaim the truth. The responsorial psalm that we heard, it says, "Kindness and truth shall meet." And that's a perfect model of St. Francis de Sales. Kindness and truth shall meet. He was very firm in proclaiming the truth, but he was very reserved. He insisted on preaching the gospel in love. Something that I try to do. Sometimes I fail at. But to preach the gospel in love, to recognize there is a truth, that truth must be acknowledged, but that truth is a good thing, that truth will lead us to Christ, because he himself is the truth. He is the truth incarnate. And so St. Francis de Sales, in his desire to proclaim the truth, to lead people to holiness, he's known for some of his writings, the Introduction to the Devout Life, which at that time was a very kind of rare book because it was written specifically for lay people. Some say even it was directed more towards women than towards men. Talking about fostering a life of prayer, fostering holiness. If you really want to get serious about being holy, I encourage you to read that book, Introduction to the Devout Life. It's a little bit more advanced than it might sound based on its title, Introduction. But it's full of insight and wisdom from St. Francis de Sales to help us to recognize our need to do the will of God, our need to trust in him, our need to follow him, our need to imitate Jesus Christ. And then we recognize that all of us, it's not just the bishops, not just those guys that are charged with the apostolic mission to be sent into the world, but it's really all of us, all of the baptized. We're all called to be sent into the world, to be apostles, to be missionaries, to proclaim the good news. To proclaim the good news to a world that so desperately needs it. Doesn't matter our age, doesn't matter our profession, doesn't matter our state in life, but all of us are called by means of our baptism, to go into the world and to proclaim the good news. So on this feast day of St. Francis de Sales, let us ask for his intercession, that indeed he may be able to inspire in us that ability to imitate Christ more faithfully, so that we may follow him, we may do his will, and we may proclaim his good news in the world.